Hello everyone, it's Attacker72 here, and for today, so within 2 weeks, Donkey Kong Bananza would be releasing on July 17th for the Nintendo Switch 2, and so far for what we have seen within the last few weeks, Bananza is shaping up to be a very exciting and anticipated game by so many fans, especially for a Donkey Kong title which we haven't seen in over a decade. Really, it is great to see things such as the gameplay and the mechanics, and to really show a love letter to all things Donkey Kong related, and even added characters like Young Pauline, Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong, and especially Cranky Kong. However, there has been this one specific character that has yet to appear. A character that so many fans have been wanting and hoping to see appear in this game at least once within the last couple months. And that is none other than our beloved crocodile himself, King K. Rool, the king of the Kremlins, the absolute funny singing man from the show. Pretty much K. Rool has been, if not Donkey Kong's most notable enemy within the last 30 years since Donkey Kong Country. He's been his most iconic enemy. You don't get into Smash Brothers without ever being recognizable. That's how large K. Rool is in terms of his popularity. And really, when it comes to K. Rool, it shows that really he is, if not DK's biggest villain. However, within the last couple weeks, ever since the Direct had ended, there has been so many theories going around talking about the existence of an appearance of King K. Rool appearing in Donkey Kong Bananza, which you gotta question as to why are fans really thinking that? What is making them think that K. Rool is going to be appearing in this game at all? So in this video, I just kind of want to be going through like a few reasons and then give my personal input as to whether or not K. Rool is actually even returning in this game. So to really start things off, which is going to be a pretty quick video to say the least, we gotta talk about a character known as the Banana Bandit. You see, Cranky Kong appears in this game, obviously, and he alongside Rambi are like looking around the entirety of the underground, looking for this strange character known as the Banana Bandit. And I have no idea as to why he's talking like this, and I mean, I get it, he's old and all, but K. Rool is stated to be mentioned here according to fans, and that's because whenever the Banana Bandit is mentioned, Cranky Kong is strangely vague about this. Where you see as other characters like the NPCs or any other characters that you see around the underground area, they mostly mention the rustlers, or notably Void Code, the main antagonist to this game, where they show their icons and even mention in Void Code by name. But then there's Cranky, who for some reason, whenever he's talking about the Banana Bandit, he's been weirdly vague about it and doesn't really detail as to who this could be. Now, in my personal theory, it could just be another Kong somewhere, but many have pointed out that this could likely be leading to King K. Rool appearing. After all, K. Rool and especially Cranky has some history together, even if he wasn't Cranky's own villain. But then there's also a few other things. One thing to mention about Donkey Kong Bananza is that it was outright confirmed that Bananza is indeed being made by the same team as Super Mario Odyssey, which, I mean, no surprise there. I mean, this game literally is Odyssey coded, and with all the level design and everything, all the references here, it really feels like this was being made by the Odyssey team. But I mentioned it for a reason, because you got some levels that are referenced in Donkey Kong Country, notably the one from the very first announcement where they show a brief footage here showing off Donkey Kong in a 2D segment, which is part of the challenge levels that will be appearing in Bananza. And there has been some collectibles that shows up minor enemies and minor characters that appeared in Donkey Kong Country. Even a character that looks pretty similar to Espresso is in this game. It's not the same character, but it's very similar to that character. So that's really the second reason that so many fans have been pointed out. But then there's the most notable and final reason that many fans are thinking that K. Rool is likely returning in this game: Void Kong. Void Kong is by far the most interesting character to be added in the DK franchise, by far, really. And it has been a decade, so this is great to see new Kongs. I mean, he is the main leader of this game's main antagonist, being Void Co. The thing about Void Kong in general is that for some reason, some fans have stated that this could likely be King K. Rool in disguise. Why exactly? Because he feels out of place. To really start things off is the name itself. Void Kong is a strange name, since you don't really get to see a name like that in the Donkey Kong series. Yes, there has been some cases such as Ninja Kong or Sumo Kong or Cactus Kong or even just some of the Kongs, but if we're talking about the main moniker of the Kong family, there's mostly like this suffix. There's mostly like this Y sounding suffix that ends with a key, like a E, like K-Y-E-Y, and then usually, in some cases, it usually just has a Y sound in it. I mean, you got Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Candy Kong, Tiny Kong, Kitty Kong, Funky Kong, Chunky Kong. You get my point. They all have this Y suffix at the end to pretty much match with the whole main Kong family. And as I said earlier, there are cases where the Kong family doesn't have that, but those are a strange case because for characters like, you know, Dread Kong or Karate Kong, those are characters that doesn't really get acknowledged nowadays. I mean, when was the last time anyone has ever mentioned, I don't know, a freaking lanky, I don't know, like Redneck Kong or something? Honestly, it is a strange case that out of all the new Kongs that we've seen, Void Kong is the weirdest one because his name does not match with any of the Kong family. Even the other two characters, Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong, have the Y moniker, so it is weird for Void Kong out of all of them to not have that. That's the main reason why so many people think that this is K. Rool in disguise. Another thing is regarding about the dude's design. I mean, first off, aside from that fact he looks out of place, his eye is notable because in K. Rool's character model, his eye is bloodshot, while Void Kong also has a bloodshot eye. It is strange for him to just kind of have that, and it feels weirdly similar to having K. Rool's bloodshot eye. Not just that, it's in the same it's in like the same place too, because it's on his left eye, and that's what K. Rool has. He has a bloodshot eye in his left eye. That's the most interesting part. And then there's also the notable part about K. Rool is that he disguises himself like a lot. In games like Diddy's Conquest and then, you know, Double Trouble, K. Rool is able to disguise himself in different outfits. Now, I wouldn't really say it's a disguise because it's obviously K. Rool, but he is capable of disguising himself. He has been seen in many games that he is able and is capable of disguising himself in different outfits. That's kind of why so many fans think that Void Kong is indeed K. Rool in disguise, because he feels so out of place. His name doesn't match with any of the other Kong names, and the fact that K. Rool is able to disguise himself is pretty much the main reason why out of all of them, out of all the past two theories I mentioned, especially with the Banana Bandit, it is kind of notable that Void Kong is the character that many tend to point out about K. Rool's existence in Bananza. Now, it's time to really give out my personal opinion as to whether or not I would actually like to see K. Rool appear in Bananza. And I'm just gonna say this, yes and no. For yes, I get why. I get why, alright? K. Rool, or more so Donkey Kong, hasn't really gotten much deal with the Kremlins within the last 10 years or so, and ever since, you know, Jungle Climbers and all that, you really haven't seen much of K. Rool within the last 10 years. You got some DK villains, while pretty great, they just don't live up to the same name as K. Rool. And yeah, K. Rool has appeared in a couple spin-out titles like Mario Bros. Sluggers and all that, and obviously Smash Bros. Ultimate, but then there's also his last notable appearance as Donkey Kong's main villain being, as I said, DK Jungle Climbers. That was the last time Donkey Kong and K. Rool had ever been fighting together until like maybe Smash Brothers, but in terms of the Donkey Kong series in general, Jungle Climbers was the last time we ever saw K. Rool fought against Donkey Kong. Afterwards, it's mostly just one-off villains that we don't really get to see nowadays. So, and really, I don't actually get to see K. Rool in Bananza at all. And for a big reason, well, I just rather have a new Kong family, or more so villains that isn't just K. Rool. I get why, as I said, we haven't seen him in so long, but this is DK's first ever game in over a decade, and if anything, if we're gonna have some type of love letter to the whole thing, then K. Rool would be a more viable addition to be here, but not like as the main villain. He could appear, but maybe as like a post-credits sort of scene, and not like the actual main villain. Give Void some time to shine. They have pretty unique designs. I do like Void Kong's design the most, because not just because of the whole, you know, disguise thing, but I just think he's so out of place out of the other Kongs that I actually feel like he's like a funny character. He just gives me so much JoJo vibes, but K. Rool, I don't think he'll appear as the main villain. Maybe he will appear in the game, but just not as the main focus. Give the other Kongs some shine, and that's just all I can really say about this. But I want to know your thoughts and opinions down below about this. What do you all think of the potential appearance of King K. Rool. Do you think he would appear? Do you think he would not appear? Or is this just a lot of copium from the community and it's just random theories that has been thrown out left and right? I hope you guys enjoy this, and let me know your thoughts in the opinions down below. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend.